Welcome back to the channel. This is part 3 in a 3-part series of upgrading the sound system in our 2004 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD Crew Cab. If you watch the rest of the videos, we started with the antenna first, and then we upgraded the sound system to the Boss double-din stereo. Now we're going to be changing out the speakers. Stay tuned. Decided to stick with the same stereo components and speaker components. This truck has component speaker system in the front doors, so your tweeters are separate from your speakers that are down lower in the door, and then we went ahead and got these for the rear doors. So let's get these boxes open and see what we got inside. For the front door, I went ahead and picked out the CH6CK full range component speaker system. It's 350 watts and it comes with 2 tweeters, the crossovers, all the hardware to mount them, the bezels. Here's the little clips that go in the back, and here's your 2 speakers. Got some instructions that come with it. So next step we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to get that door panel off. Okay, first we're going to start with removing this little section here. There's a little clip here, and then there's one down here. So it helps if you have a panel removal tool. If not, you can stick something slim in there and just kind of wedge it out like this. See if we can get this loose here. Takes a little pride. Let's see. Go. See, there's a pin there and a pin there, and then it pops out and slides up. Now that we've got that opened up, that allows for this panel to slide up. These panels slide up to get off. The next step is we're going to come in here and we're going to take our pry bar. A flat blade screwdriver, if you use it delicately, it will work. Now this will pry up this way. And it'll come straight out. And back here is a little screw. We're going to go ahead and take that out next. There's also another screw that's down here. But before we take these out, we're going to go ahead and take this little bezel off here. There should be a clip right around in here somewhere, so we'll pop this out. Get our fingers back there. Get that off. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove this screw here and this screw here next. Alright, taking this screw out, you're going to want to use a Star T20. Got the tip on it like that, and then this is just a push pin. I don't know if you can see that, but that just pushes in, and then the whole door slides right up. But you've got some wires back here that you need to disconnect so that you don't damage your switches. So let's go ahead and get those disconnected. Okay, now that we've got all of our electrical switches disconnected from the door panel, don't forget your light down here. There's the tweeter. and the door speaker. So let's work on getting these out now. All right, to pull the door speaker out, depress this here. I'll have to put the camera down and get that pulled out. Hold on. Okay, got to push this tab down. Helps to have both hands and a little screwdriver, give a little pressure. This should just pop out and lift out. So go ahead and get this disconnected and work on getting the new ones mounted. Let's go ahead and take a look and see why these speakers failed. You can see in the back that the speaker's totally disconnected right here. The foam is all rotted away. So let's see if we can open this up here. Yeah, look at that. That's what's left of the speaker. It's all rotten in there. So I'd say they're time to replace these. Okay, getting the tweeter out. We're going to use 11mm socket. Loosen these up. And we should be able to pop that out. As you can see here, the tweeter is mounted in the panel, the stock tweeter. We're going to go ahead and remove these and get this out, and I'll show you a custom mount that I come up with for the new tweeter. As you can see here, the old tweeter is mounted in this plate, kind of glued in there, and the new tweeter has a flush mount and a surface mount. I'm going to go ahead and flush mount this, but as you can see, there's not a good place to do that. This hole's too big. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark this out with the diameter of this and use my Dremel tool and cut this out, and I'll make a nice flush mount that we can stick back in the stock door panel using the stock hardware. Now that we've got the tweeter out of there, we can go ahead and place this on here, mark it out with a pencil, and get our Dremel tool and open that up. That'll work just fine. Okay, now that we got our tweeter mounted in there, we're going to go ahead and install it in here, and we'll get moving on to the main speaker. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to mount our crossover for our front speakers. There's a spot right up under here that's protected and out of the way. Tuck it in right there. Okay, let's get the next step done and get the speaker in and get her wired up. Alright, we're going to have to cut this connection off here so we can wire the speakers in. You check your wiring diagram on your vehicle. On this one, the gray happens to be the negative, and the light orange or tan color is the positive. You can easily check a wiring diagram on the internet to get it correct. The next step was to drill some holes to mount the speaker, because it only comes with a template and the stock speakers mount in these clips. They just kind of hang in there. So unless you have some mounting brackets or another way to do it, you have to drill some holes in here so you can get your speaker mounted. Got the wiring all ready to go for the tweeter and the speaker. So let's go ahead and get the speaker installed, wired, plugged in, get the door panel back on and test it out. Speaker is mounted. I'm gonna get the door panel, plug in the tweeter, turn on the power, and see what we got. All right, here's the speakers we're gonna put in the rear doors. Let's get it open and see what we got. In this package, we get our 2 speakers, two wiring bundles here, your hardware, a little template in case you need to cut something out, and some covers. Let's see about getting them installed in the back of the truck doors. Let's get this rear door panel off. Right up under there is a screw, and right down there is another screw. 7mm. Let's go ahead and get those undone and go to the next step. Now that we have the door screws out, we're going to go ahead and pry this out like we did the front door. It's got a clip on the top. This comes off. We're going to go ahead and pry this one out too, just like the front door. Okay, now that we've got this plate off and this little bezel off here, this should come straight up and come off. You have one wire that's hanging right here, and we don't have to disconnect that. We can go ahead and turn our door over a little bit. Let's pull this off. And we can rest it right there. That gives us access to the speaker without having to disconnect the wires. These speakers are actually held in by T10 screws. We got 4 of them here. So we're going to take these screws out and reuse the hardware to mount them in the same holes. We don't have to drill holes in the rear doors. Alright, now we got the speaker out. I'm going to go ahead and cut this connector off. Strip our 2 wires. And connect up our little wiring bundle for our speaker. Okay, we're using our stock hardware to screw the door back, the speaker back into the door. Anytime you can use your stock hardware, that's good. So we'll get these screwed in, get the door button back up, get the panel on, and we'll test it all out.
System US News named the best of 2020.
All right, we got sound. It's always good to test all your speakers before you button the doors up, and which I've done. Now we're going to test all 4 after everything's buttoned up. Now that we got all 4 speakers installed, let's turn on the stereo and see what we got. Sounds pretty good to me. Hope this helped. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next episode of Ocotillo Outlaws.